I allow myself to be my best self, to be creative, and to let go. I allow myself to live an elevated life, to stay focused and clear, always moving towards a goal. I allow myself to let go and to learn to live and to grow. I allow myself time and space. I allow. I allow myself to feel, to express myself, and to use the talents that I possess. I allow myself to make love out of the things that are not love. I allow myself to be creative, live in the moment. I allow. I allow. I allow. Are you ready and willing to allow? To allow yourself to do the transformation, allowing yourself to make love out of the things in your life that may not be love. I allow. Yes. Welcome, everyone, to Class 3, The Enemy Within. The music you were listening to is from the God Power soundtrack, God Power 2 soundtrack. It's called I Allow. This is all about allowing. Us looking at ourselves and allowing ourselves to make the change and the shift, to get rid, to evaporate, to alleviate the enemy within. I'd like to thank you for being here. As we get started, have your pencils, pens, papers, pad ready for this information-packed class. It's my highest choice, or our highest choice here at Elevation, that you have checked out Class 1 and 2, The Enemy Within, Class 1 and 2, which are online. And wow, this is becoming quite a journey. The information that even I've studied in the past is hitting different now. Have you noticed that everything is hitting different? Things are looking different and feeling different. The world has changed. The earth has changed. Our minds have changed. Everything is speeding up faster. Fall came quicker this year than I remember. The leaves began to fall 3 weeks ago, maybe even 4 weeks ago. The trees have been letting go of the things that it no longer needs or desires. To move into the fall and the winter is to let go and allow the real you, the authentic you, to come through. So this class was put together at this time during the fall of 2025, when the great shift is picking up momentum as we change internally, as our environment changes. That's the time to make the shift. So the big question today is, are you ready to fight the battle within? Strategies to confront and defeat internal saboteurs. These are entities, mindsets, ideas, feelings, personalities within us that are actually the biggest enemy we will ever confront. The one inside. That's the one. Are you ready? This class was brought to you by Elevation Foundation. Elevation Foundation for Abundant Life. That's who Elevation Time is. These classes are put together to help you gain power within yourself, to elevate your mind in this time. elevationtime.com. That's where you can find some of the products that have helped people change their lives for many years. This is where you can find the Platinum Life Monatomic Elixir, the real pineal activator. And we'll get into that a little later. At Elevation, you can also find the Elevated Total Body Program, the one that deals with systemic parasites, mental, physical, spiritual, non-physical entities that may be holding you back. This is about looking into ourselves. Knowing where you're coming from or where you're going is important. Who is here for the first time on these classes? Put it in the chat. If you're here for the first time, put it in the chat that you're here for the first time, where you are in the world, and how you heard about this. How did you hear about this? Where are you in the world? Knowing where you are is important. Knowing how you heard about something or how you feel about something is important. That's how we know where to go. Because if we'd like to backtrack and what they call it in church, backslide, that's okay. That's something you must allow. But this is the time to choose if you're going to move forward and climb and elevate in your life. But it's all about knowing where you're coming from, how you got here. Once you realize how you got here, then we can look at how we can move forward, how we can choose a destination that we desire without sabotaging that mission. I'd like to ask permission. Is it okay that I share some information today that you may not have heard before? Is it okay that we may make it a little fun? Because this is a serious subject and some folks hear this and they're just like, wow. So we try to bring a little levity to it. And is it also okay that we talk about some things that may cause you to be a little emotional? It may agitate you a little bit, but that's important to get the grunge and the stuff up that may be stuck down in our subconscious minds. So wherever you're coming from and wherever you're going, welcome. We're going to start by talking about the different strategies to confront and defeat internal saboteurs. So imagine you're this person and you're attempting to cut this limb, but you're sitting on the wrong side of the limb that you're attempting to cut. So you're about to cut yourself out and cut yourself off from what you desire. Be honest. How many of you have cut yourself off from what it is you say you desire? How many of us have something inside that pops up that automatically begins to help us defeat our highest goals? Be honest. How many of you have often self-sabotaged, fought your own self, argued for your weakness, battled with yourself to win the war that you can only lose in? Be honest. Be honest if you're cutting the wrong limb from the tree. This is a program. And this program, this matrix, is being created by all of us right now. We are creating our reality, but aspects of it have been pre-programmed by beings, by situations, by mindsets, thoughts that may truncate the true vision, may limit the spectrum that we could truly see from. Because we only see a small spectrum of things based on what we believe. We only hear certain things based on what we like or what we believe. We feel things based on what we've been programmed by ourselves or by others, by nature. Those things are pre-programs that can be broken. So that's what today is about. Looking at these things, these spells that help us break our own path, cut our own limb, and sabotage our mission. Now, we've got a lot of slides today, so there's a lot to cover, so I'm going to be moving a little fast. If you're just tapping in, welcome, welcome, welcome. And as we do this, as we talk about this, it hits at a different level. Everything that we learned in the past, we're relearning today. So some folks say, I know all about this, but you couldn't know about this now because now is a brand new day and everything has changed. We are not the people that we were. Our cells, our molecules, everything about us is changing every single day. Each time you go to sleep, you let go of some things, you gain new things, you dream, you travel. Your cellular function is going through replication, rebuilding. Your body is rebuilding. Your mind is rebuilding. And the only thing that stays the same is the way we think, our consciousness. So there's two wars going on. One of them is external challenges, things happening outside of us, outside of our control. And internal saboteurs, ideas and feelings inside of us, beings inside of us that will actually sabotage the mission. The Art of War. If you haven't read the book, get the book, or at least go watch some of the videos about the concepts in the book, because the book is pretty deep. Know the enemy and know yourself. Know thyself. Know the enemy and know yourself, thyself. We a lot of times are looking outwards at everybody else and everything else. When and how often are we looking internally to recommit ourselves with where we're going, who we are, and what we believe and what we like? The enemy within is our own subconscious thinking. Sometimes it's conscious. Sometimes it's conscious, but that can be changed. The conscious mind is the driver. Just imagine an automobile or even a bike. We don't really have autopilot bikes, but maybe we might soon. Maybe there are. I don't know. But we know we have cars now that are on autopilot. You can just tell it where to go and it'll take you there. But your conscious mind is the driver, the strategist. It sets the goals. The subconscious is the autopilot, the soldier trained by the past. Even in an airplane, you put it on autopilot. You can just sit back and the plane is going to go where it's programmed to go. Our subconscious is like autopilot. Autopilot follows old orders and sabotages new missions. So if you have a new mission and you're on autopilot, then guess what? The vehicle is going to keep going in the direction that it was programmed. The subconscious is the security team of the past. Mistakes grow for danger. Mistakes growth for danger. Sometimes when you're ready to grow, the old subconscious security team sees that as being dangerous or the unknown, because a lot of us stay where we are based on not knowing where we're going to be and who we're going to be if we change. And sometimes we need to stay who we were so we can be cool with our friends and stay in the groups and talk the talk we used to talk and still have the same relationships. But those relationships will be like a boat if those relationships are based on storm, based on pain, based on trauma, based on drama. And if you are living a life where you're looking at the problems most of the time and solutions only seldom, and if our friends and family talk about problems, and the news is problems, in our social media feed is about the problems and the drama, then we get caught up in that storm and we can't get out. Once you try to get out, the old programming, the old autopilot will mistake you changing for danger. It will see that as danger, 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 Will Robinson. That's the robot on the movie Lost in Space. Sometimes when we attempt to change, it feels like we're going to die or we're going to lose our minds because you're in new territory. And the autopilot subconscious will self-sabotage that mission because it's misguided as self-love. We love ourselves. It's attempting to keep you alive based on the program that you put in your subconscious originally. Remember, the subconscious or the autopilot mind was programmed by you. And it may have been during times of trauma, times of pain, times of loss, times of sadness and grief. And those security guards of the subconscious are going to hold you in a place of protection, ready to fight anything that looks new. Even though this new thing may be good, it is not recognized by the autopilot mind. So it looks like self-love. I love myself. I love my old stuff. But actually, you're saving your old life. Have you thought about that? When we are in protection mode, when we fight and when we stop our forward movement, our upward movement towards what we say we desire, we're saving our old life. How many of you have had that happen to you where you change and it feels like you need to save your old life? Even your friends, they'll be upset. What are you doing? Why are you changing? You changed your name, you changed your hair, you changed the way you walk, you don't hang with us anymore. They will fight. They will make you feel bad. And a lot of times you will end up with what's called winner's remorse. You could win and have won, but every time you win, you feel bad because your friends and family are stuck in the 3-foot water. You ever go to the pool and they have the 3-foot, where you can wade in the water? You can swim deep. You could go all the way to the deepest end of the pool, but your friends who are still in the kiddie pool, who are afraid to swim deep, will call you. And it's like you're hurting them, you're killing them because you are ready to swim in the deep end of the pool or you're ready to fly high. And you are stuck a lot of times with them because that's your family. They'll make you feel like you're evil. You don't love them. You're hurting them because you're leaving. You will be remorseful many times in your old program and stay with the losers. You'll stay with those who are in Kindy Mind. Is that a place, Kindy Mind? Let's make that a place, Kindy Mind. A lot of folks stay where they are because they feel comfortable there. The issue is that's okay for them. Is that okay for you to stay with them? Because you're remorseful about leaving and you have separation anxiety? Who am I going to be without those people and those friends and those families who live that life? Not that that life is bad, but it may not be for you. Not this fall. You may decide to leave and let those leaves of the past, those relationships of the past fall. But we hold on because of the fear. Sometimes it's the fear of success, the fear of winning, the fear of losing what you were familiar with. In the art of war, they talk about divided forces. It creates weakness. If you are attempting to rise or change or transmute or transform yourself. But the old autopilot mind, the old subconscious, the old relationships are pulling you. You will be divided because there's two forces. One that is moving one direction, and then the old, which is pulling you in another. That creates weakness. Weapons of the saboteur. The feelings of fear, doubt, anxiety. You know that can come online quick when you're attempting to change. You doubt that this is going to work. What if it doesn't work? What if I leave and I have to come back? I'm going to be so embarrassed. They're going to say, see, we told you it was scary out there. So as a sheep, you've been on the farm most of your life. You've even been on the side of the farm where you feel like you're conscious and aware. The sheep are reading conscious books about deep stuff. Imagine the sheep is learning all about metaphysics and sacred mathematics and, all about quantum physics. But imagine that sheep never leaves the farm. It has all this knowledge, but still is what? Fenced in by the farm. And that farm is creating you from seeing outside the farm. All you see is in the farm. So this is a pharmacy. That's all you see is the medicines that are keeping you, the poisons, the toxins that are keeping you locked up on the farm. So you may feel fear, doubt, and anxiety about jumping over the fence as the black sheep, because they've made you feel that the black sheep was bad, because black, the color itself, the words around it, the description of it seems to be bad and evil, when actually darkness, blackness is where everything comes from. That's the originator. That's the original universal God, triple darkness, blackness. Everything comes from it. But somehow we've been programmed in a way, or allowed ourselves to be programmed, that black is bad. So you don't want to be the black sheep. When they call you the black sheep, they call me the black sheep of the family. The black sheep of the family is the one that leaves. The black sheep of the family is the one that jumps over the fence and goes out into the world and expands itself and learns new things. But you got a whole lot of other sheep that are caught in the fence, waiting for the farmer to feed them, waiting to be told what to do, to be directed. The farmer comes and raises its staff, and all of the sheep just follow. And just in case you don't do what the farmer wants you to do with his commands, they send a little dog out. They call him a sheepdog. And he just barks and barks and barks. Now, the sheepdog has never bitten or attacked anybody, but he's got this bark. And the sheep are scared of the little dog. He's the police of the farm. And the sheep just can't take it because they're nervous and scared. And they just huddle up and go wherever the sheepdog pushes them. And sometimes they just march right down that corral to be slaughtered, or to take its wool and use it and leave you bare and naked. Weapons of the saboteur, thoughts. I can't. I'm not ready. I'm afraid. What if? I feel sad. That's the thoughts that sabotage you from leaving the farm and becoming the black sheep that you were born to be. See, the black sheep can go in the farm, hang out with the sheeple, but that sheep will also leave and jump over that fence and go out into the world and come back. And sometimes the black sheep, we keep coming back because we keep wanting the white sheep, the regular sheep, to follow us. Come on, guys. It's beautiful out there. I went to the waterfalls. It's great. There's beautiful things to eat out there, wonderful foods, rather than just this gray grass and this dead hay that the farmer keeps giving us. Let's go, guys. Sometimes the black sheep, if they're not careful, they become a brown sheep. Do y'all know about the brown sheep effect? The brown sheep is a black sheep that's been out in the world and comes back to the white sheep and gets caught with the white sheep trying to convince the white sheep to change. Because something in that black sheep in its mind sabotages it because it could be living free because it has the knowledge of being free, but it cares so much about its family and its friends. And oh my God, would you guys please listen to me? And the regular white sheep are looking at you like you've lost your mind. You better not let the farmer hear you're talking about like that. And if he sends that damn dog after us, what are we going to do? If he sends the police after us, follow the rules, conform. So the brown sheep is caught because he stays on the farm a little too long. But he's not like them, but he's caught with them. How many of you are like that? And you have this negative self-talk. It drains energy. Just like arguments. You want to fight. This is another saboteur. You want to fight and argue with somebody to prove your point because you've changed. You're the black sheep. You've been off the farm, and you want to come back and argue with the regular sheep. Do you know arguing drains your life force energy? So you may win the argument because a lot of folks want to win and they want to have the last word. And a lot of folks don't realize that what you're saying to someone else, you're actually saying to yourself. You're hearing it first. So what happens is you lose life force energy. It takes energy. You get heated. It's a heated argument. You're hot. You feel heat inside. You even afterwards, you got to go pee because you're pissed off to let off some of the toxins that you've created, some of the chemistry to fight a war that really wasn't even yours. Arguing with yourself, fighting with yourself, proving your own self, what? In confidence. This happens when it strikes when you step into a new territory. The old comes online and convinces you that the new is dangerous. But it's comfortable inside the farm. It's comfortable. We get food. We get to go in the barn every once in a while. They have heaters in there. Sometimes they give us alfalfa on a good day. It's great here. It feels good. It's familiar. I must cling to the familiar because I know it. That sadness can feel safe. Joy feels risky sometimes. Being too happy, too joyful. What are you laughing about? You ever just smile and people say, what are you always laughing about? What are you always laughing about? What are you always feeling so good about? What are you always smiling about? Have you heard the news? You feel how hard and rough it is out there. Do you know that the end of the world is coming, the rapture? Did y'all hear the rapture was supposed to happen last week? Did y'all hear about that? People all over the world were waiting for the rapture. It happened. They wrapped or talked themselves back into the past. The rapture has to do with you letting go of the past that has been talking to you in your head and becoming someone new and moving on to a new place and be creating heaven on earth. So those who were waiting on the rapture, it didn't happen. Those who became heaven on earth, they were talking, rapping, right? I like breaking things down into different ways. This is how I see them. They were creating a new world. And in order to create a new world, you have to what? Look for the saboteur in yourself. We've all had to do it. In chaos, there's opportunity. When things are chaotic and it looks crazy, it looks like the world is just, oh my God, it's all mixed up and there's all these feelings and people are fighting and arguing. That's when it is time for you to see the opportunity. An opportunity is just when you see OP, that has to do with your mind, your eyes, what you're seeing. That's why you go to the optometrist. It's about eyes. Then you have port. This eyes, port, creating a portal or a doorway that you are already tuned up for. Opportunity, seeing the doorway that you have tuned up for, you've readied yourself for. You're looking for it. You have to be careful because your old mind will tell you that this opportunity is going to hurt you. It may kill you because it's going to come up with all this evidence based on past programming. So an opportunity is something that you're tuned up for. You're already a winner in your mind. You're already there. You're already grateful for that opportunity in your mind. You're grateful in advance. You don't beg for it. You don't wait for it. You don't wait for it to be given. You don't wait to read it in the book. You become it. You are it now. The opportunity pops up when there's chaos, when things seem crazy. When you have lost your mind, this is the best time to get tuned up. You grow when you step into the unknown. That's the only way to grow. The only way to get there is by taking a risk. And you know, every part of you have been programmed in sin. What do you mean? Because you was born in sin. They keep telling you were born in sin. Keep in mind, sin is an archery term. It means to miss the target. It doesn't mean to be bad or to be wrong or to be evil or to be born with a, badness on your back. How many people are born low-born? That's what they call it. He's low-born. And those folks who are low-born were taught to be that way. You weren't really born low. You were born high. Otherwise, those millions and billions of sperm cells, right, who had power, one of them was a winner. One egg was a winner, and they attracted each other. So you were born high. You became low-born after you came out and you listened to the low vibrational talk of sadness and defeat. You listen to the talk that you were born around, the people, the conversation, what they thought, what they felt, the politics, the religion, the beliefs of culture was all about how hard it was. Well, some of us, we heard how hard it was and how tough it was, and we decided to be alchemists and change something hard into something soft and something more easy by being passionate about what we naturally came here to do, our natural talent. You have natural talent that you may have left behind. So you got to go step into that. You've got to relearn and relive your life and realize that missing the target doesn't have to last forever. You don't have to be living in sin. You were born in it. So let's work it out. Let's turn all that into the past. Let's turn all that into medicine. Let's turn all that into fuel. Let's turn that into fertilizer. Are you ready to do that? And somebody said, well, church won't teach us this. Yeah, but the Bible might. The Quran might. The Bhagavad Gita might. The Emerald Tablets might. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The truth is in the wind based on how you breathe and how you perceive. It's not the book. It's not the building. It's what you get out of it. Church, people say, well, church beat us down. No, you allowed yourself to listen to what you were hearing, seeing, and feeling and get caught up in the what? The farm with the rest of the sheep. Because some of us could go to church right now and we're going to receive a powerful message. You can get on an elevator today with a question on your mind or walk through a store and hear a powerful message. Even with people fighting and arguing, there's a powerful message. If you become an alchemist and if you learn how to extract what it is you like out of whatever you think is going on, storms have to happen. You need storms. You need thunder and lightning. If there's no thunder and lightning, the earth stops spinning. Did you know that? So your drama, right? Your drama in life is your movie that you get to create and you get to change. So even though there may be trauma and drama, and you may have some scar tissue, in war, we look at our scars as, this is something we went through, but we're not going to go through it again. We learned from it. How many of you have learned from the past? And how many of you are living in the past? You can't fix the past. There's nothing you could do. It's superfluous. But when you step into the unknown of now, some of you have no idea how this is going to end this class, how this is going to finish today. It's the unknown. Now, some of you, I know all this stuff. Well, maybe you shouldn't be here unless you just like watching Dr. B and listening to this talk. There's other things you could be doing. You could be going out and living within a sad movie, being the producer, director, and a writer of a sad movie. If you don't like your movie, you've got to step into the unknown and create a new movie. Saboteurs are fed, and their fuel is dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction is a creative state. You might say, well, dissatisfaction is bad, but dissatisfaction is what will get you to move to something more satisfying. Most of the music that we listen to, even with great lyrics, is actually created out of dissatisfaction. Because we're not satisfied with the old, we like to create something new. So dissatisfaction can be good. If you stay too satisfied, too satiated, you'll never move forward. I keep hearing how, my music friends are always, man, the music business is just messed up, man. It's done. It's just upset and angry, some of them. I'm like, this is the most powerful time there is. Because the record company was keeping you on a farm and you couldn't see that whatever you were receiving was nothing. And they called your little bit of money a royalty. They received 98% or 99%, or let's call it 80%, because let's say your deal was 10%. They got what they call the lion's share. You was lying to yourself and they was lying to you, and you was letting them lie by calling your little piece a royalty. I got a royalty. And you're happy about that. Man, I just got my royalty check. I remember I get those royalty checks. I was so happy. But I have received royalty checks for like a penny and a half. They made how much? What did they get? So you're a sheep and they get the lion's share. And you lie to yourself because you may be a liar and call yourself being honest, but you're lying if you are not being your best self. That's a lie. That becomes fuel for the saboteur. You've got to be realizing constantly to be ready for change. That's what dissatisfaction is going to fuel. I'm ready to change. We can't keep doing this thing over and over. It's like it's like that gerbil on the little wheel going around and around. It's going so fast. It's so strong. It's got great muscles. It goes to the gym every single day. But where is it going? So you got big muscles and you're strong. You got a 6-pack, a 12-pack, 12 facts. There we go. 12 facts. It's that 13th fact that will change everything. It's that 13th try. You may have done something over and over and over, and you say, every time I do it, I fail. But it might take one more time. It only takes one time to be successful. But if you're too caught up on your image, unless your image is what you're getting paid from. Now, some people, they get paid by their image. It's an image, though. That's not really them. It's just a look that they create. But when you get tired of being tired, When you are dissatisfied, and even in music, I'm dissatisfied all the time because I'll make music. It'll be great, but I'm done. But I wouldn't do anything else if I was satisfied with that. Dissatisfaction is actually a good thing. But we've become too satiated many times, and we're stuck, and we love the farm. It's comfortable here. I'm satisfied. The farmer's going to feed us. Thanksgiving is coming. We're going to get turkeys, and then Christmas comes. We're going to get gifts on the farm. Oh, it's so beautiful. And not even be realizing where the real Christmas is and where the Thanksgiving is really happening. And what is the true holiday? It's when you break the spell and create holy days by creating heaven on earth. Inner commander urging advancement. This is about war. When the inner commander is urging advancement, let's go, let's go, let's go. Nature's telling you right now, let's go. Leave your leaves behind, or you're going to fall behind. You're going to be left back. I remember they wanted me to go to, what do you call it? Advance me a grade in school because I'd become so good in a couple things. Now, some things I was like really bad at, and they wanted to leave me behind. But I didn't want to be advanced to a higher class because my friends. What about my friends? We won't be on the playground together. We won't be able to hang together, and they're going to be upset with me. There was times when I knew the answer to the question, but I didn't want to raise my hand and look too smart. When your inner commander is urging you to advance, to skip a grade, to go to the next level, that's when you become ready to what? Defeat the internal saboteur. You got to take back the controls. Who's driving your vehicle? How many of you have fallen asleep at the wheel? Have you ever done that? I remember I was driving across the country and I fell asleep at the wheel. I don't know how many miles I drove on automatic. I might have thought that I was only asleep for a second. Didn't want to pull over at the rest area because we need to get there. We got to go. We got to go. We got to get there at all costs. Can't take a rest. We're traveling. We're only 5 hours away from our destination. Don't rest. You're out of control. When you decide to put your hands back on the wheel and get away from this automatic pilot, turn it off for a minute. This is when the boss, the commander, the CEO, the captain is in charge. First, you got to know the battlefield. Once you know the battlefield, what you're dealing with, you got to be ready to interrupt and break negative or disagreeable patterns. You've got to reprogram and issue new orders. If you're living based on the old orders, it keeps you stuck. The old feelings, the old emotions. That's sleep at the wheel. Step into the unknown. Choose joy and growth. Don't wait on somebody to make you happy or make you feel good. Waiting on somebody to love you. Sleep at the wheel. You've got to chart a course. You got to visualize daily. Just because you visualized last year and you went to a seminar, you read a book, or you were inspired by some speaker, you have to be visualizing daily. You have to be in emergency. Emerge and see. You have to emerge and see. That means that daily, you've got to work at this. You've got to move towards this. You've got to recreate, recalibrate. Just because you crashed yesterday and you were off course, if you give up, you lose. Winners never give up. Consistency. Train until your autopilot obeys. You do this long enough, you jump timelines. You see, there's two roads in every second. Actually, there's three. But the picture in the middle, you see, it's a road that's splitting. It was one road, but now it's dividing. It's going in different directions. When you change your mind, when you take hold of the wheel, you decide which road you're going to take. One road leads back to the past. Another one leads you into brand new places, new horizons. You have to be ready to jump the timeline, because once you change, everything changes. Your world changes. This is timeline jumping. You ever get a new situation, a new job, or something happens that's brand new that changes everything? This just happened for me, for Dr. B personally. Day before yesterday, I was through. I woke up in the morning, started working on class, and something happened. I took my parasite cleanse, because I'm on the cleanse right now, the 28-day elevated total body rejuvenation program. And something happened. I spilled a little bit of one of the bottles. My hand was shaking. I felt this feeling, oh my God, just feeling of doom and gloom. And the world became gray. And these voices came in my head. You're a loser. You're this, you're that. You're not that, blah, 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 blah. What do you mean they've chosen you to be the spiritual leader? How could you, based on blah, 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 blah. And I was going down. And it was like a spiral. I was going down, 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 down. Whew, I couldn't stop it. So I decided to get into bed, put lavender all around me, and went to sleep. Because I had woken up. Woken. Is that a word? Woken? It is not. I'd woken up on the wrong side of the bed. That's really not an actual thing, there's no wrong side of the bed, but there is a side of my mind which is caught in autopilot. You said, well, Dr. B, you've done the work and you're this and you're, listen, this is a daily thing because the environment is strong. The energy is strong. Who knows? What did I look at in my feed last night before I went to sleep? Did I watch my phone before I went I don't remember what happened. But I may not have been totally conscious of what I was doing before I fell into that deep sleep. And I had these long, I don't know how many of you out there have been having these long, epic dreams, full color, smell, everything, taste, touch. It's a lot of that going on because the energy is speeding up and we're being challenged. So by going into rest mode, I woke up and had a whole new energy. Sometimes you got to fall out. You've got to fall out. Just go ahead and fall all the way down. Then all of a sudden, I got a package in the mail. I'm like, what is this? I don't even know what this is. UPS special delivery. And I didn't even pay any attention. I put the box in there, took it from the man, and put it down. And I started doing all kinds of things, working on the class, working on some new formulations and some new ideas about how to help folks and ourselves here change. And then I decided to cut the box open and everything changed. I created this new instrument from an old idea. It's a medicine drum, but it's made out of wood. And it has a very special tuning. It's tuned based on old Eastern tunings from the solfeggio music before the modern era. But it also has notes in it that are tuned from the modern era, from now. And I don't know if there's any instrument that does both. So I created this idea about taking the past, the best of the past, and the best from now and creating it and making it out of wood. because everybody's making those drums that I was making years ago. So it's a thing now. I started a lot of trends or jumped on a lot of trains and also changed some things that were. I've designed a lot of things, especially in music. And I took out the drum. Oh my gosh. My whole world changed. I was holding back tears. I don't even know why I was holding them back. Because sometimes when you cry, it's breaking off the dendrites, which are the nerve endings that are holding on to your old belief. In tears, there's dendrites, broken little nerve endings that were holding on to the tissue of the issues of the past. And I took out the drum and I started playing it, and everything changed. Whoo! Let me tell you something. The entire world changed yesterday. The idea that I had in the past, and it took months and months and months for the people who made it for me to make it, because it's very strategic tuning. It's a very special project that's not easy. It hasn't really been done before. So I was waiting and actually forgot about it. Maybe about 2 months ago. When the final instrument came, it was life-changing. Everything changed. It's a brand new instrument. I'll be talking about it soon. I'll be playing it soon and offering it. It looks like we're going to offer this to the public, folks who would like to really go into the next level, because it sets up these vibrations that helps you defeat the saboteur mindset of the past. There's frequencies that does it. Most of your music is keeping you in the past. Most of your music has frequencies that are actually keeping you as a slave, even if they're positive, if they're tuned to the old scale. The scale is heavy. It's been tempered. It's been created by a group of people who needed to control folks. So they did it through music and sound. They did it through through food, fabrics, clothing. A lot of things were created to keep you sabotaging yourself and keep you from jumping over the fence. So the minute I aligned with this new possibility of this new instrument, I became victorious. I was a winner. I sat on my porch and played this instrument for long periods of time. And I called one of my friends who's a musical friend, and I played it. He was like, man, what is that? What is that, bro? This is one of the greatest producers in the world. This guy, he knows everything about music. He couldn't believe the frequencies and the notes and the scale. He said, what is this? I said, that's the new Dr. B medicine drum. He's like, I need one, man. First he said, man, well, sample that and send me some loops of it. I said, I don't know about that. Because some folks will have your project and your idea out before you get to do it yourself. So you got to keep hold of it. You got to hold on to your winner's circle and make sure that you win first. Because a lot of times we lose because we don't win in our minds. We don't feel worthy. And sometimes we're going through this chronic servitude syndrome, but we want to give everything away. So keep that in mind. Create something new, something that is unique in your mind that nobody else has done. Some folks are saying, well, Dr. B, where's the drum? You'll be hearing about it more. I got a few things I need to change, but there is an instrument on the way that anybody could play. And it's a medicine drum, a brand new concept in music, tone, and frequency. You've got to change your frequency, y'all. That's how you win. Change the rhythm, change the sound. Key takeaways. The saboteur is the misguided protector. See, discipline of a strategist rewrites the script. If you're a strategist and you have a discipline, that's how you rewrite the script. Your movie, who made the movie you're in? You did. You might say, well, they did it to me. Well, you allowed it to be written. You can change that script, that movie, that book, that idea. You've got to defeat the enemy within. No enemy outside you can stop you if you are in control or have defeated the enemy within you. We spend so much time pointing to the devil, these people, this culture, this world, the parents, politics, the news, what they're doing. We keep pointing outwards. That weakens us. because the true power is within each of us, and we were all born with it. Once we decide to cut the cord, are you ready to cut the cord? Otherwise, somebody else is what? Got a leash on your neck. The world will have a leash around your neck. And you get a little doggy tag that tells them who you are. You get an ID bracelet, an identity. Huh? And a lot of times that's not you. That's what they call you. That's who they think you are. And it takes being bold to break away from the old ID, the old identity, and create something new. If you live in a past dream, you don't enjoy what is happening right now because you will always wish to be different than it is. You will always wish it to be different than it is. There's no time to miss anyone or anything because you are alive. Not enjoying what is happening right now is living in the past and being only half alive. This leads to pity, self-pity, suffering, and sadness. I threw sadness in. That's from the 4 agreements. The dream is deep. If you stay in the past and keep dreaming from the past and trying to make money in the past and make love in the past and live life now in the past, you will be half dead. Zombies walking around, dead, waiting on dirt. Some people are alive, but they're dead, waiting on dirt. Their conversation is dead. Every time you see them, it's about death, destruction, and sadness, and pain, and misery, and trauma. And now you've got a relationship with the trauma, and you've bonded with the traumatic relationships, and we love each other because we both feel the same way. We both been through the same drama. And sometimes if somebody comes up and you and your friend are in trauma bonding mode, and somebody comes up with something agreeable to say, something changing, something agreeable that can move you out of it, sometimes you disagree with the agreeable because you're stuck in the past. You're stuck with the old story. You're stuck with the old ways of your family. Only you can stop this. Only you can prevent the forest fire that's happening inside your mind. It takes courage to release rigid old ways. Deep breathing is the key. So let me show you a really quick technique. Some of you know it. That will help you dispel some of the past. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale deeply in through your nose, and you're going to hold it. And then you're going to exhale through your mouth as if you're whistling. So you're inhaling deeply through your nose, and you're holding, and then you release. So when you inhale, you're energizing, and you hold, and then you release. Let's do it now. Inhale. Hold. And release. Inhale. Hold. And release. You feel that? Inhale. Hold. And release. energize, hold, and release. Inhale and energize. Hold and release. And again, inhale and energize. Hold and release. And one more time. Inhale and energize. Hold. 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 And release. Now look around. You feel the shift. When you do this, you tell the autopilot to disengage. You tell the old pre-recorded files in your subconscious to disengage. Because this is when the captain, the pilot, the driver of the vehicle takes over. This is the quickest way to change your state. The minute you feel the old you coming online, the old feelings, breathe. If you don't breathe, then you're not taking in new life, because breath is new life. Your breath is consciousness. The air itself is consciousness. Breath is the thing that keeps us going. And when you're going through challenges, you'll notice your breathing gets shallow. You start getting angry. You start getting apprehensive and feeling anxiety. You breathe. Breathe. And when you breathe, you let go of the grief of the past. You let go of the oxygen that has been spent and turned into carbon dioxide. And it is that shift and that change, that breathing, that allows you to shift into nowness and become totally present to the gift that is now. The true gift is the gift of breathing. That lets you know that you are here to be now. You could only breathe in the present. And when you take control of the wheel, you are now the driver. You are the warrior of this time. You don't have to fight for now. You just have to be here now. Being here now. A being. How are you being? Breathing is the key. That turns everything from the past off just for a few. That's all you need is a little wind so you can jump the fence. If you don't have enough oxygen, if you're not breathing deeply, you cannot drop the past and jump the fence now. Yes. You can't pour new wine into old skins. The old will burst under the pressure of expansion. See, there was a time when wine was made and held in skins, animal skins. And the old skin was a little rigid. The new skins are more pliable, more flexible. If you make new wine, it's still expanding, it's still fermenting. And if you put the new wine in an old skin, the old skin will burst under the pressure of expansion. So it is with us. Toxins, parasites, rigid thoughts, and old programming cannot hold new life. Detox the body, renew the mind, and expand your vessel. Only then can you carry the fullness of vitality and vision. This is why a lot of folks, no matter how much they attempt to change, the gravity, the magnetism of what was keeps pulling them back. Because if your body has not been renewed, then how can you take on new ideas? Wine is like new ideas, new thoughts, new goals. Your new ideas can't exist in an old mindset. Your new visions will not be strong if they are in a body that's toxic. We have got to create a new body, a new mind, a new earth. This is the time to do it. Yeah, I know we're going to wait. We want to wait till our birthday. I'm waiting till Christmas. I'm waiting till after Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is coming. And, All Hallow Eve is coming. And we got a party and my friends and my family and the celebrations. You have just chosen to be canceled out. I don't think we really know what cancel culture is about. We think cancel culture is when somebody tells us that somebody's bad. This is what happens in cancel culture. It comes online that somebody did some bad things. And this is how, programming and politics and propaganda works. Somebody tells you that a person or a thing is bad, especially people. They're bad. They're going to jail. They did all these terrible things. And they create a story that you don't have any evidence to know if this is true or not. But you go along with it because why would they lie? And you've been programmed so easily. That's what happens to the sheep. They get programmed so easily because they're white sheep. White is blanca. It has no energy. You can put any energy in it. You can take a white wall and put any color on it. It's very hard to cover up a black wall because black is everything already. Think about that for a second. So when you are ready to change, you have to be ready to change your body, change your mind, and get rid of some of the toxicity, the heavy metals, the chemicals, the habits, the ways, the talk. Talk is a toxin if it's disagreeable. Disagreeable talk is a toxin. So that's why detoxification is so important. And it's so important in this season right now. So you can wait if you'd like, because a lot of us are always waiting. The longer you wait, the more weight you gain. The weight of the past, the gravity of the past is going to keep you stuck because you got excuses. Well, I can't afford it now. Well, you won't be able to afford it later because they're crashing the system through cancel culture. They're canceling the culture of the sheep. Who is they? They live, the beings, whoever they are, the oppressors. The people who would like to control you and use your energy, because that's what it is. These beings and these people, certain people they use the energy of sadness. They feed your internal saboteur with all kinds of ideas. Your family and friends will do it too, because they were born into it. So they're just following the habits and the ways of the what? The hypnotic culture. That whole hypnotic, mechanical, mechanized, programmed, preempted, and prompted society. It's dying. They're canceling the culture. And only those who are really ready to step up and be bold right now are going to make it. This has happened so many times on the planet. A society rises and rises and rises and rises, and all of a sudden it hits a plateau, then it crashes. We are seeing the crash of this society, this world. If you're ready to break it, then you'll choose now. Don't let your mind talk you out of what you could do that's going to change everything. And there's all these quick fixes because we're so used to apps and pushing a button and just, having it happen automatically. I ordered something and it comes right away. I pushed a button and the app told me how to be spiritual. And I hit AI. AI told me who God is. Really? What happened to your internal intelligence, your original intelligence, your analog intelligence? It's okay to use a tool, but don't let the tool use you. You've got to tap in right now. But a lot of people are going to have trouble with this because even though they've done their parasite cleanse, the commercial one, the one everybody was talking about, they use the stuff that everybody said to use for parasites. First of all, do you know how many different parasites there are and how it's impossible for you to get rid of all your parasites, and something that works for one parasite is not going to work for another parasite? So people say, well, use this for parasites. You have no idea how deep this parasite is. In fact, the parasites themselves will have you using some stuff that actually makes them stronger. Public enemy number one. We talked about this in class number 1. I think we talked a little bit in class 2. This one is the one, y'all. The mind control parasite will keep you in saboteur mode. It is the mental mind control sabotage parasite. Toxoplasma gondii is a zoonotic parasite, which means it crosses from animals into humans, meaning it is a parasite that can be transmitted from animals to humans. It is an intracellular parasite that infects nearly all warm-blooded animals, including mammals and birds. Are you a warm-blooded mammal? Yes. Humans can become infected by ingesting contaminated food. What is contaminated food? Do you know a whole lot of the food today is contaminated? Not just what they tell you that there's a recall. When you walk in the grocery store, half the time you're in a place of contamination. Just the lights themselves, the fluorescent lights, are making everything in the building toxic. How many of y'all use fluorescent lights? Do you know the flicker rate of a fluorescent light is keeping you in subservient mode? Did you know that why they use fluorescent lights in school? If you film one and you slow down the flicker rate, it's putting out a pulse. And that pulse is keeping you in obedient mode, obey mode. It's a message. It's pulse modulation. It's Morse code telling you sleep, 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 sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Did you know this? The old incandescent bulb, the old light bulb, didn't do that. So they came up with these new light bulbs so people could get the light, but the light is information, and that information is pulsing you to sleep. Why would you do it? Did you know that the fluorescent light bulb helps to energize parasites like Toxoplasma? So you did your cleanse. Oh, I did a cleanse. I'm on my juice fast. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But what about those light bulbs? What about the chemicals in your house that we talked about in the last class? Those are all toxins, and those are all parasitic ways where we're eating our own selves alive. So what is in contaminated food? Most of it is, even your vegan stuff. Water, most of the water is contaminated. Yeah, it started off in cats. People say, I don't have cats. Listen, you don't need cats anymore because this now is it's like up to 70% of the people have this parasite that keeps them in fear. In order to win, you've got to know the enemy. And you've got to use a special program. It takes at least 28 days to change the frequency of your body to deal with toxoplasma. To totally eradicate it, it might take 3 months. And then it only goes to sleep and wakes back up. So each season, it's important to detoxify from these super bugs. This is the real pandemic that they didn't tell you about, because this one controls your mind. Parasites and courage. Parasites don't just drain the body. They can alter behavior. Toxoplasma gondii makes rodents lose their fear of cats. In humans, infection is linked with risk-taking and altered fear circuits, dopamine changes. Risk-taking. Some of y'all say, well, I don't know. I don't be taking too many risks. Yes, you do. You walk into the grocery store, you're taking a risk. You pick up your phone. Somebody's calling you. You know who that is. You're taking a risk because you know they're going to bleed all over you their stuff. Risk taking is actually a good thing, but a lot of times we're taking the risk. That's not an informed risk. It's not calculated. It's not part of the plan. As the art of war, you have to know your enemy, know your territory, and know yourself and know where you are. This parasite disengages, it plays with your fear mechanism. It disengages what you call the courage loop, the cipher of courage, the circle of courage. So we start taking risk and take risk with things that are going to actually harm us, because one of the things that this parasite, many of them do, especially this one, is causes you to do self-harm. Keeps you in autopilot mode where you fall asleep at the wheel. Other parasites manipulate hosts to act against self-interest. The enemy within can literally reprogram courage and fear. Parasites. We're not talking about just the ones in your gut. We're talking about systemic parasites. They live throughout the system. This is a very special deal. This is a whole nother approach to change the frequency of your body, your mind. We're not just talking about physical parasites, because this parasite affects your mind and your spirit, your energy. It affects your course. Ancient wisdom and modern science agree. The art of war. The greatest enemy often lies within. Parasites equal physical saboteurs. Negative programming and fear are mental saboteurs. They both drain vitality and keep you small. What feels safe, comfortable zone, familiar, sadness. How many of you are familiar with sadness? You know it. You're comfortable there. It's okay. We don't even call it sadness. It's just the way we are. Maybe the parasite script, not your own choice. Toxoplasma is a superbug, an alien creature that controls your mind, especially when you decide to change your vision, change your path. The hookworm, Nicator americanus. I can't even say the next name. Ancylostoma duodenale, something like that. Duodenale. Nicator means to cut or rip tissues. Look at this. This is the original Dracula. Where do you get hookworms? This is from walking in grass or on soil where animals have been pooping. I'm talking about domesticated animals usually. They drill in through your feet. All you do is maybe feel a little tingle or tickle on your feet. That's why you got to be careful for grounding in some of these public places. You got to find some untouched land, some only where, nature is. So be careful. But it is the original Dracula. Feeds on blood, creates iron deficiency, anemia, fatigue, low energy, irritability, depression, nutrient loss, iron and protein, reduce serotonin and dopamine, which have a lot to do with what you feel and who you are, your states of consciousness. We'll do something on that later. Chronic inflammation disrupts gut-brain axis. What is the gut-brain axis? Did you know that more information comes from your gut to your brain than from your brain to your gut? That your brain is being controlled by your gut. Your gut is like the original brain. And when you clean your gut and you detoxify and you get back the healthy microbiome that we once had, you are now sending messages to your brain about success, about love, about being peaceful and caring and expansion and wealth. When your gut is toxic, you're going to be at war. Your gut is responsible for you becoming successful. The health of your gut is also responsible for you living in war, staying on the farm. When you are in anemic mode, which is most people in America, there's not enough iron in the plants and in the soil. I don't care how green your leafy green vegetables are. You've got to get something from the equator where there's lots of iron. There's certain plants there. Chronic inflammation disrupts the gut-brain axis. Results: mental fog, low motivation, mood swings, and bipolar. Have y'all noticed how bipolar people are today? How many of you online are existing in this bipolar world? You say yes, then all of a sudden it's no, then I don't know. Yes. What is going on? People have gone past bipolar. Now they're tripolar. So there's 3 of them. Then there's quadrupolar, pentapolar, keeps on going. Different personalities. Well, you don't even know who you are from minute to minute. One day it's, oh boy, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm going through something. I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. Something's happening. Then boom, you change. The wind blows. If you are low in iron, you will not be in total control of being able to move towards your goals in life. If you don't have enough iron, you will sabotage almost every mission you're on. The lack of iron causes chronic tiredness, anger, fear, and sadness. That's why we created the Iron Essential. How many of you out there have tried our Iron Essential? And the key to having enough iron in your system is not just getting it, because you can get it from certain plants like the sarsaparilla, burdock, and there's some other root vegetables that have lots of nascent or natural or plant absorbed iron. Copper. Without copper and without vitamin C, you can't absorb the iron even if you take it. That's why most of your iron supplements only work a little bit. You feel a little better. You need vitamin C to help unpack, right? Unpack the molecules of iron. And you need copper to draw the iron in you into your system and make it usable. Did you know this? People say, well, Dr. B, first of all, your iron tastes really, really good. I've never had iron that works this way. Why? In fact, it's time for me to take a little bit right now. Where's my iron? Oh, my iron is not here. Oh my gosh. The iron is not here. Drink a little tea. There is something in our iron that I have never seen in any iron supplement. It's called kararu. Kararu. Kararu, stinking toe. That's one of the indigenous names. And there's several stinking toes in the Caribbean, but this is one special type of stinking toe, or one special type of plant where the fruit doesn't have any iron in it, but it has lots of copper, and it takes the iron that's in you and it vitalizes it. Kararu. It's in our iron essential. Helicobacter pylori. Have y'all heard of Helicobacter? It's a superbug. It acts like a magician. It will also control your thinking, but it will do it in a different way because it doesn't necessarily live in the brain. It lives in the stomach, then it moves into the liver, and then it moves into the heart. It's a superbug. It's extremely intelligent. And some of these things, like, look at the name, Helicobacter pylori. What does that mean? And a lot of people have it. Primary illnesses caused by H. pylori. That's the name they call it for short. Gastritis, chronic inflammation of the stomach lining. Peptic ulcers, stomach ulcers, and duodenal ulcers. Major cause of ulcer disease. Gastric cancer, H. pylori, is classified as a group 1 carcinogen by the WHO. That's the World Health Organization, by the way. Long-term infection increases the risk of gastric or stomach cancer. Malt lymphoma, a rare stomach lymphoma, mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue. It affects the mucosa lining in your gut. It sucks and eats something called bismuth. Bismuth is a mineral that coats your digestive tract that helps the mucosa lining push away food from the wall of your stomach. It acts like a magnet, but you know how magnets can repel? Well, this mineral, bismuth, acts like a magnet pushing away food and things from the wall of your stomach so it doesn't sit there and rot. It eats that. So a lot of times the food that you're eating is touching the wall of your stomach and eats holes in it. And the H. pylori lives in these holes, in these little, ulcers. It also helps to create iron deficiency by reducing stomach acid and iron absorption. It also causes vitamin B12 deficiency and can lead to fatigue, nervous issues, and cognitive decline. Functional dyspepsia, chronic stomach discomfort, bloating, and nausea. GERD-like substance though the relationship with reflux is complex. Something's missing right there. It's supposed to be X. This thing in your gut. Remember I said there's more information going from your gut to your brain than the other way around? It controls your mind from the gut. So you're never comfortable. You're never digesting all of your food. Then it moves into the liver. When it moves into the liver goes into liver dysfunction. The liver can hold on to the feeling of anger. And if you're holding on to anger, that means that you're triggered really quickly. You get mad all the time and you can't release this anger, your madness, sadness. and you're disempowered. This bug helps to disempower you. Neurological and mental health associated with higher rates of depression, anxiety, Alzheimer's. Huh? Yes. H. pylori. They didn't tell you about that. Parkinson's, likely via inflammation and nutrient loss. Not a direct infection. Cardiovascular, some evidence connecting it to arteriosclerosis and heart disease, but research is ongoing. They don't want to find this. Why? Because this may cut out a whole lot of medicine. Sometimes the researchers they're going to search. They found some stuff. They're going to keep searching, because if they keep searching, they can keep selling you medicines and selling you other things to cover this up. This is a super bug. And I'm telling you right now, cloves, black walnut, wormwood, what's the other one? Diatomaceous earth. There's a bunch of them. Pumpkin seeds, pomegranate seeds. They don't affect H. pylori. They don't affect toxoplasma, because these are systemic parasites that move. This thing, once you start trying to attack it, it moves. It'll leave. You've just chased it from the stomach over to the liver. You tell me which herbs you're using to detoxify parasites from your liver, because most of the products that people are using for parasites are very effective for the digestive tract. But didn't I tell you it's intelligent? It just left the digestive tract and now it moves over to the liver. Then you try to hit it in the liver and it goes to the heart. Heart disease? This affects your heart. And if your heart isn't in certain things and you don't have enough heart, you don't have enough courage, because you're, weak-hearted, because this parasite, along with toxoplasma and a bunch of other superbugs, will be controlling you. They'll have you in autopilot mode doing the same stuff over and over. Somebody wants to know, well, Dr. B, what's your website? Website is elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. And the one for superbugs and all this is the Elevated Total Body Program. And there is a discount code. The discount code is class 3. You'll get 15% off of everything in your cart of $99 or more. It's good until Sunday night. Okay, let's keep going. Helicobacter pylori, H. pylori, infection is associated with an increased risk of mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, potentially through the gut-brain axis, where inflammation from the infection can affect brain function and mood. Your stomach, your liver, your heart has a lot to do with parasites. Superbugs are different than your regular classification of worms. This is what Dr. B studies. This is why we created the best parasite cleanse for systemic parasites. And you can't just do it by cleansing. You also have to be rejuvenating the tissues at the same time. In order to deal with them, you have to deal with the hormones, the liver, the kidneys, the spleen. You've got to change the frequency of the blood, the lymph, all of this. It takes time, and you cannot do it in 7 days. You can't do it in a weekend. It's 28 days, which is a biorhythm, a natural biorhythm. Otherwise, these things, what they do is they know that you're not going to do this for long, whatever you're trying to hit them with. They just wait it out. They go hide. They make cysts. They're very intelligent. And the stuff that we've been using, right? You hear all over online, everybody's talking about parasites. Now, it seems like every day I hear a new thing about the parasites. It finally hit it. I mean, okay, we're there. But what they don't realize is the parasites are telling you what to do to increase its life force. It's telling you to do these simple things. And it's a trick. Because the superbugs are made stronger by those things that you're using. Those things that you're using have been used for thousands of years. So these superbugs, some of them were made in labs. Some of them are weaponized, for war. Some of this is made, in labs for bioterrorism. There's even ethno-specific pathogens that were created to affect certain people of certain cultures. Bet you didn't know that. Yes, ethno-specific parasites, looking at, or ethno-specific pathogens. And if they use this stuff in war, which they did, they dropped certain pathogens on certain groups of people, which disrupted the gut, which created more energy for Helicobacter. If your feedlots where your cows are, your factory farming and all that is happening, has rats and cats pooping all over the floor, there's your toxoplasma going into the animals. That's why the animals don't run away, because one of the things that toxoplasma does is it what? Domesticates the animals. And if you're eating it, you may have become, or if you have eaten it, which most of us had, even back in the day when we ate meat, because everybody wasn't a vegan and a vegetarian back in the day. Some of us were. But even with vegetables, you're still going to have toxoplasma because it's in the environment. You may have made love or had a night or a day or a kiss or a touch with somebody with toxoplasma. And they may have had its cousin called uriplasma. Look that one up. And you tell me how your herbs that you're talking about are going to affect these two. It's deep. So it's about population control. A lot of this they know about. And if you can keep the populace domesticated, so they might be upset, but they're not going to do much. They're going to be mad, read a book, talk about how bad it is, and post it all on the internet, but they're not going to do anything because they don't know how. That's what I do. I'm attempting, and I've been attempting to blow this horn since 1996. And it's deep now, because now we're in a whole new world. And you're expecting AI to fix it for you. You have got to save yourself and conquer the sabotage, the self-sabotage, the self-loathing, the self-talk, which is talking you out of getting rid of the bugs, mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional parasites that are eating your gut, eating your mind, eating your process, eating your ideas, keeping you domesticated. Studies indicate that the parasite can influence the body's production of neurotransmitters and contribute to neuroinflammation. Have you heard of that? Inflamed nerves, inflamed brain tissue, and contribute to leading to mood disturbances. While the link is strong, further research is needed. They always got to say that. Further research is needed to fully understand the relationship of the specific benefits of H. pylori. The benefits. Did you hear what they just said? This is off their website. To fully understand the relationship and the specific benefits of H. pylori at eradication on the mental well-being. It's about bugs, y'all. Super bugs. So we have the elevated total body program. This is different. This one is not just about parasites. It's about superbugs. It even has herbs in it that helps to deal with your spiritual illness and your non-physical bugs. Just want to show you something. We're winding up. We're almost done for the day. So I know you got things to do and go think about. I'd like to show you something here. This is an herb called chaparral. This grows in the high desert. It has two different flowers. It can self-pollinate itself. It is known as one of the oldest plants on the planet. It lives in very harsh conditions in the high desert. I pick this myself, or I get it done by someone who knows exactly what we're looking for. Chaparral was never in the cleanse because chaparral was something you use when it's like dire. This herb is very strong, very powerful. But when I was in the desert, I think that was about 2 years ago with Billy Carson, we were doing something in Vegas, and I went out to do some, some harvesting, what they called wild crafting, where I picked some of the products. And chaparral started talking to me because we use chaparral in X Factor. X Factor is used for viruses, people who are having, who are healing from cancer and deep things like that. That's when we use chaparral. But the chaparral began to talk to me and it says parasite cleanse. It desired to be in the program. So I was like, chaparral? It's like, yes, emergency. We're in emergency. This has gone way past, what we have ever encountered. So we added chaparral, and I began to look at more of the spiritual and energetic benefits of chaparral, and it's deep. This is an indigenous American plant that they use when they're talking about getting rid of what you might call evil or entities. This casts out entities. Some parasites are considered entities because they're not physical bugs in your colon. They're in your system taking over. They will cause you to self-sabotage by you becoming your own enemy and destroying your own goals. Yes, some of you saw the video when I was in the desert. I actually filmed myself when it started happening, and I had this experience. And it came to me to add this to the cleanse to deal with some of the emotional and spiritual effects that we're going through right now. That's why I said the cleanse is much more than just the parasite cleanse. Also, another plant. This is persiki. It's a fruit. This is used in West Africa in many places. They use it as a seasoning for soups and things, but it also keeps the village cohesive. It creates a bond between the people and themselves and their hearts, and it is able to change the frequency of the body so that you push entities out. They use this for spiritual cleansing. Look at it. This is some heavy stuff right here. Persiki. Or persiki. That's how they say it. Persiki. Persiki. So we put this, listen. I also use it as a shaker in the studio. But you can use it as an incense. But what it does is it reconnects you to your inner senses. It's for spiritual parasites. A lot of us know we got spiritual parasites. Then I looked in the distance when I was in the desert and I saw the Joshua tree. And then everything changed. Joshua tree, it was calling me. And I said, if we put Joshua tree in the cleanse, that will help us deal with that root stuff, that family stuff, that bonded stuff that we got growing up. It deals with the stuff of the past that you need to let go. Joshua tree. Somebody told me, they said, but Dr. B, I got some Joshua tree and I took it and made it into a formula. I was sick as a dog because you just don't use these plants. You've got to know how to use them. The process that I go through to figure out how much to use and which combinations, it blows people's minds. In fact, we're going to take some folks into the lab soon. We're going to make some videos in the lab to show how I do this. I even use this thing called the spectrometer. Some of you know what a spectrometer is. It's a device that you put your herbs or your medicine or your whatever ingredients on it, and it looks at it and it looks at all the frequencies. It looks at everything in it. And with that spectrometer, you know how much light is coming from it because things that are for you have a right spin. All the proteins that are for you have a right spin. That's why you have L-lysine, L-phenylalanine, L-carnitine. Those are all proteins that have a right spin, which means when you put a laser light through it, it spins the light to the right. It's called a right spin. That's what that L means when you look at the proteins. That means it's for you. If you put a laser light through these substances, these solutions, and the light spins to the left, it's toxic for you. When they send a light wave and they look at the frequency of certain planets, they can tell what the planet is made out of based on looking at the spectrometer. Because if the light in certain frequencies are spinning to the left, that's toxic for you. It has to spin to the right. Cast your nets to the right. You've got to be righteous and self-righteous. I don't want to be self-righteous. What's wrong with that? I shouldn't be self-righteous. I should just be devoid of myself and let you guys control me so I can stay as a sheep on the farm. Oh, Dr. B, you're on an ego trip. Yes, I am. I'm the best at what I do. I'm very good at what I do, but I'm not good at what somebody else does. I let them do what they do. I'm the best at being Dr. B. I don't know of anybody else that figured out that you need to infuse the herbs in your medicine with music. But I'm a musician, and I know the frequencies and the notes of the music from the feeling that I get. There's a taste on my tongue that I get when I feel the music. I can taste sound. I can hear visions. Do y'all know about that? Synesthesia? Synesthesia is when your senses are different than the rest of the people's senses. This is how I was able to make such great music when I was in the commercial music business. How were my records hitting like this? They weren't better than somebody else's. It was the combination. It was the way I was sensing the environment. They tried to say synesthesia is a disease. They wanted to treat me for it. Treat me for something that's a trick. I have special abilities. You have them too. I'd like to help you develop them once you get out of your own way. So when I create these formulas, I'm creating them not based on what they have said in these books about the herbs, because most of that information is limited. Most of the information you're reading in herb books and you're hearing about herbs is limited because they are not showing you the spiritual or indigenous ways of these herbs. Almost every herb has a spiritual or energetic or a non-physical energy about them that is not written because the ancient people was not giving up these secrets, or they didn't even, most English people didn't even know, they can't even speak the language. There's things you can't even say in English. Even when it's like tell you about the herb persiki, that's not how they say it. That's just the way the English, they decided to rename it. Quassia is not the original name of quassia. We put quassia. Well, Dr. B, why do you use quassia in your parasite program? Because quassia is high in iodine, and a lot of us need iodine, right? Why do you need iodine? Why do you need it? No, iodine actually is in the seaweeds. Forgive me. Iodine is in the seaweeds. But when you realize that certain things have a cultural secret in them of how they were used, when they were used, how much to use. So folks hear me and they say, well, Dr. B, I went and bought some of that and I tried it and it made me feel, that's because you don't know the formula. I've been doing this for a long time. I was taught by some incredible teachers, and each of us has a special ability when we stop competing with other people. There's no competition here. Because I was tapped in and taught by some folks that was on a whole nother level. And I'm the best at what I do. You're the best at what you do too. Some of us are the best at sabotaging ourselves. And we were the best at looking for shortcuts. I need a shortcut, doctor. I don't have 28 days to do your cleanse. I just need some. I got something here. I bought this stuff. It was $7.99. I bought it at Half Foods and Trader Joe's, and this stuff was great. And oh my gosh, man, I heard that sea moss was going to kill my parasites. Who told you that? Sea moss will feed the parasites. They love the minerals in sea moss. They need minerals too. Whew. And what about this fluoride? Did you know fluoride causes pineal paralysis, and that's what's wrong with your pineal gland? Why you may not be able to have those special senses and just know? It's in tap water, right? It's in toothpaste, and it calcifies most of your glands, especially the ones in your head, your pineal, your hypothalamus, which helps you have balance. And the hypothalamus tells you when you've done too much of something, or you need to get away, or it creates balance in the body. It is the connection between the nervous system and your glandular system. They have to talk. They talk through the hypothalamus. And it also will let you know when it's time to leave or when it's time to stay. If it is in paralysis mode, you don't know when and you don't know how. You're looking to just learn it for free. I just got an app that will do it for me. I just asked AI to do it for me. You lose your natural senses and you become senseless to having the sensitivity to know what is going on for you, what's best for you. You follow the crowd. You're like the rest of the sheep. Just follow the crowd. Fluoride will get you to do that because it numbs you up. You're looking for love. It's because your pituitary gland is calcified. The pituitary gland or the pineal gland and paralysis. The pineal gland it's the seat of intuition. Fluoride builds up and it calcifies it. It blocks melatonin and higher awareness. Intuition and courage. It calcifies and dulls intuition. If fear replaces confidence, courage is suppressed hesitation and timidity. How you say that? Being timid, timidity. Am I saying that right? It's harder to trust your inner compass. Fluoride. Thinking and creativity. The pineal is linked to imagination and vision. Fluoride blocks mental flexibility. It blocks the creative flow. Creative flow is restricted. Inspiration feels boxed in. Do you see where the sabotage is at? Fluoride. Self-esteem and self-sabotage. Poor sense of self-worth. Inadequacy and fear dominate. Fluoride blocks self-understanding. Works against one's own goals. Whew. How am I going to get rid of this fluoride, Dr. B? It's in my system. Well, you'll never get rid of all of it right now because you got to use water, and it's in almost all the water. But you can disintegrate it in your cells. You can detoxify it. This is part of the elevated total body program. There are certain things in there that helps to decalcify your glands. Really? Yes. It's not just the worms in your gut. It's the chemicals in your body systemically throughout your system. We've been using fluoride. So our life is calcified. We're never really using. We're stuck because calcification is hardening. So we're stuck. Have y'all seen the documentary, The Great Culling? The Great Culling Water. Please watch that. The Great Culling Water. It's about the fluoride industry and the fluoride scam. That movie, the first 15 minutes blows your mind. And they even get to a point where they say they knew when they were putting fluoride in toothpaste and fluoride in water, what it was going to do to keep people from ever breaking free from the Thunderdome, getting people to stay inside the fence, especially people who had indigenous genes. They say it. They say it in the documentary. Huh? Somebody says the discount code says that it's expired. Let me go fix it right now. What do you mean, Dr. B? Go get the documentary, The Great Culling. It talks about how, let me see, what's today's date? Okay, we just fixed the code. Forgive me. The code was locked. It's fixed now. The discount code. It's on. In the documentary, they talk about how fluoride causes people to be calcified and stuck, and how this is going to keep the intuition of the indigenous people from ever coming back online. Because if the indigenous people or people with indigenous blood, it only takes a little bit of it, a few drops of indigenous blood for you to wake up. And this is the time we're supposed to wake up. This fall is when we're supposed to wake up. That's why it's so much craziness going on in the news, and they keep telling you to go along with what they got going on, and all this cancel culture and this who did what and pointing the finger and destruction, and they keep giving it to you, and you keep believing it because your brain is frozen. It's stuck. It's like calcium, calcified, like rock, like concrete. That's why we created the Platinum Life Monatomic Elixir. The real pineal activator, anti-aging, energizing, telomere repair, intuition enhancement, heavy metal detoxification. There's the key. You cannot move forward if you've got heavy metals, and there's a lot of heavy metals in your body that are causing you to never move forward. It includes monatomic platinum, gold, iridium, palladium, and copper. Ormus or ORMs, the M state elements, superconductors that elevate life, that life force energy fields, and also 9 rare adaptogenic nootropics. Nootropics are things that work for your brain, for your mind. This is the Master Blaster. This is the one we made that we reworked it for Dick Gregory. It helps to keep you young. It helps to repair your telomeres. This one is off the chain, and we're doing a very special deal for this weekend only. We've never done this before, because this one is one of our. This product takes a lot to make, and the ingredients that we use are rare, and the prices are high, especially with tariffs now. The price is crazy. So where we source the gold and things like that, it's a very special place. I know you hear a lot about gold, water, and things like that. They're good, but gold works better with platinum, gold, iridium, palladium, which is white gold, copper, and even silver in a high spin state. That means that these are M state. And we'll do a show at some point where we're talking about what monoatomic or M state elements are. They're very rare, but they actually help you change on a mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual level really quickly by opening up your pineal and those glands in your head. So there is a 2-ounce bottle. As you see at the bottom, you see the original price and you see the sale price for this week only. The 4-ounce bottle, this is probably our number one, well, actually up until earlier this year, this was our number one product all over the world. People love this product because it changes them so quickly at the root, and they can see again, their vision comes back. That pineal has got to do with who you are and you becoming the pilot. The 4-ounce bottle, you see the price? It's on sale for this weekend. And let me tell you, if you use the discount code, which is class 3, somebody says fix the discount code. Is it fixed? Yeah. I'm going to make sure it's working again. If you use the discount code, you're going to get 15% off. We've never done this. This has never happened. But we realize we're in emergency mode right now. And I actually have, something came to me and said, we got to wake the people up. What can we do? The parasites is one thing, the mental, physical, and spiritual parasites. But if the pineal is calcified, if the pituitary is calcified, if the hypothalamus is calcified, the people will never move forward. Platinum Life Monatomic Elixir. Let me make sure that code is working. Let me see today's date, September 25th. What is today? September. What is this? Oh, this is the 20th. Today is the 20th? Where's my phone? This is the 27th. That's the problem. I'm putting the wrong date in. Let's fix that right now. Good. I was putting in an old date. See, that was my own subconscious saboteur trying to keep it in the past. There we go. The code should be working now. Somebody check it, please, and make sure that it's working. It's the 27th. Okay. So what Dr. B doesn't even know what date it is. I am in creative mode. These dates on the calendar is not what they are anywhere. Check with the Ethiopians, see what their calendar says. See what the other ancient people say what date it is. Who decides what date it is? That doesn't mean anything. We're on the Gregorian calendar, Dr. B. You should be using our calendar. Okay. Forgive me. I'm not perfect. I've never said that I was. I fixed it. And if it doesn't work, let me know. So the code is class 3. You get 15% off up until Sunday at midnight, even off of the sale. Add those numbers up. That's off everything. The cleanse, everything on the site that's $99 or more in your cart. You're going to get 15% off. And if you become a member at elevationtime.com, you get 10% off of everything all the time by becoming a member, a gold member at Elevation. And also, we've got something coming up just for members in a couple weeks. So be ready. Just for members only. There's some good things in the members area and better things coming. So become a member. We talked about iron earlier. Very essential. Heaven on earth. When you start changing, what happens is you're going to feel anxiety. Some folks will feel stress. You get moody. Your nervous system begins to go crazy because you're breaking away from the old way. When you break away, you've got to be calm. This helps to calm you down, but it doesn't truncate your energy. So you'll be energetic, you'll be focused, but you'll create heaven on earth. This is one of my mother's favorite. And I used to ask her, how did she feel when she took it? Because I didn't have a name in the beginning. She said, well, it's like heaven on earth. And many, many years later, we grabbed that and decided to use that as the name. But it is a nervous system tonic. Our nervous system is what has been keeping us stuck. Our neurotransmitters have been stuck in the way we were, because things that fire a certain way keep firing that way till you change it. You see what I'm saying? But neurons that fire together wire together. So when we begin to move to a new place, sometimes we need nutrition. We need to make sure that our neurotransmitters are sending the new message so that we don't stop our system and stay in the past. So this helps to deal with the family and the friends that are going to keep you stuck, and so that you don't get stuck in that winner's remorse and stay in the kiddie pool when you should be over in the 12 feet or in the ocean. So you're going to need to be calm and let folks be who they are and stop trying to get other people to change. Okay? Okay, somebody says the code still says it expired. All right, I'm going to make sure right now that this works. Okay. Forgive me if this code looks weird. Everything here says it's working. Let me make sure. All right. Oh, that's the problem. Ooh, I just found the problem, y'all. See what happens? You see? See what the pass can do? Cause yourself to pass yourself up. There we go. There we go. Forgive me, y'all. Now, check now and see if that's working. Okay, we got a few more minutes. Pretty Wing says the code still says expired. Yeah, it can be all lowercase. It doesn't make any difference. Class 3, no space between 3. 15% off of everything $99 or more until Sunday. Someone please check that and let me know if that's working. Passion elixir. It is important to be passionate about your new path in life. Passionate about eradicating the past. You have to be passionate if you are ready to what? Get rid of your old saboteur. Passionate about moving towards new goals. In this formula, I don't even want to read this. What this does is it's like it's like an aphrodisiac for your heart. It makes you love yourself so much, love your new goal so much that you're going to work on your ideas. It's going to keep you very creative and loving what you create. Become very creative and passionate about what you believe, what you say, and where you're going. Okay. Somebody said it's the holistic stimulus sale on. It's already the holistic stimulus program is always on sale. It's a package where you get a lot of things in one. But if you use, well, I shouldn't say, but when you use the discount code class 3, you'll get 15% off of even that. Okay, good. Yes, that is a lot of folks just want to get everything. So there's two programs where you can get almost everything. Focus. Why would you want to focus? When I do that, don't do that at home. Just drink like that. But I take a lot of this stuff. So it takes a little more for me to be, for it to work for me because I'm, used to it. Focus helps you focus. This enhances your brain so you could think better. It helps with memory, energy enhancement, mental clarity, mental fatigue, study enhancement, helps with brain fog, forgetfulness, perception, stamina, and creativity. Now, if you take this before bed, you may have some lucid dreaming. Whew, that's what happened the other night. Wow, I just thought about that. I took focus before bed and I went to a whole nother dimension. Wow. So you be mindful that when you take these things, you're going to have some effect. These are high energy products, and most of them have essential oils, flower essences. They also have crystal elixirs. We use a water that's high in copper. This product has lithium in it. Lithium is what keeps your brain firing at a high level. It's like it's like giving your brain electricity. Lithium. We get it from a special Lithia water, which comes from Lithia Springs in Georgia. It's a very high amount. It's a concentrated amount of lithium in Lithia Springs water. So we use this water in this particular program because lithium, not lithium. There's a lithium that they give to people that are in the special spot, the mental imbalance place that they send people. And there's one lithium that's toxic and it shuts your brain down. This is the lithium orotate. Lithium orotate is small doses of lithium that gives your body the electrical impulse that you need to stay awake and be focused. We talked about the elevated total body program. It is on sale. Also, you'll get 10% or 15% off that up until Sunday at midnight and everything on the website. So I'd like to thank you all right now for being here. And class 4 is going to be next Saturday at 11 a.m. if it is the will of the universe, where we're going to go deeper into this concept of dealing with the enemy within. This program, along with other classes and workshops, is sponsored by Elevation Foundation for Abundant Life. And one day we'll talk about what that logo means and what that symbol is saying. It is actually opening up a portal. The symbol, the logo, is very functional. And also the one for Dr. B's Natural Solutions has the flower of life, which is on every product, which is actually the sacred geometry that when you see it, it helps to create homeostasis and balance within you. Do you hear me? Do you hear you? Do you feel yourself? I'd like to thank you all for being here and being yourself and taking the leap of faith and moving into the place where you can outwit the saboteur, outwit the devil, outwit your old self. Much love to you all. As we leave, we're going to leave you with something that's a message from Brother Selah. No, is that it? No, that's it.
Yes, Great Mother, thou hast patiently protected my purpose. Difficult this path of perfection. Indeed, the dead shall not know this glory. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. The desert of my soul has been drenched by the waters of life, liberated from labels, lacking no thing. This is the way of wisdom, the testament of tears, formed in the bowels of becoming, bringing forth the fruit of freedom. Bind not the beloved with busyness nor boredom. Rest is the reward of the Lord. Victory is assured to those that endure the depths of indecision. With perfect vision, pierce the veil of illusion, vanquish the villains of virtue, heal heaven's broken heart. Thou art imperishable, everlasting isness, nameless, blameless, purity personified. Be not tied to sensation, temptation, nor desire the temporal fires that burn your blessings. Shake till you wake, take your place amongst the luminous race, wrapped in royal radiance, transcending beginnings and endings, firmly rooted in the love above. Time is the enemy. Seconds are missed moments. Seconds are missed moments. Seconds are missed moments. We are inspired by shadows, moving by images, wildly wiggling our way through wonderland. Thou shalt not want. It is the perceived condition of lack that brings forth desire. Desire wants to fill its emptiness. Obviously, where is that emptiness? Where is that problem that takes your attention, consuming your moments? These are tricks of the brain trained to defend its temporariness. A jealous God demanding the allegiance of my members. It remembers what me forgot. It is and is not a nebulous nuisance needing more. Always. When one attempts to mature in consciousness through a fear-based perceptual lens, limiting beliefs in self will systematically sabotage the soul's ascension towards the freedom of knowing. Knowing demands surrender. Surrender befriends compassion. Compassion is the doorway to divine thought. Divine thought actualizes itself as pure potential. This omnipotent guiding force attempts to navigate its dualistic expression through socially enforced insecurities, creating antichrist archetypes that ultimately destroy the natural evolutionary process. Man does indeed possess the spark. It is unfortunately masked in the mystery that mesmerizes minds, confines men to mere mortality, a finite fallacy that feeds on fear. Fast from your past, fan the flames of fruition, finish your mission, listen to the babies, smell the daisies, birth yes from maybes, free yourself of yourself. Everything else is fake. Fear's an illusion, confusion is choosing when there's no choice. The voice heard first is Christ, so to think twice is blasphemy. For those with souls that see and hearts that hear, it's always now. Wow.
Yeah, that's Brother Selah and myself on drums. That's from a project that's coming up soon. And each of us has to begin to realize who we are. To think twice is blasphemy. Move now. Move with your gut. Don't look back. Free yourself from yourself. See you again next week, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Much love.